So I guess since World War Mode is not going to work today, I guess you guys get 2 videos this week. So if you didn't know, World War Mode has been canceled. It was supposed to go on today with February 9th, but it seems like there's been some technical issues, and it seems like once again World War Mode is making the game struggle a little bit on the server department, which is very fun and very much the same thing that happens every single time this mode comes out. Now, whenever it comes to World War Mode, I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about other game modes, because I think this kind of goes hand in hand whenever we talk about these two things at the same time, because something has been very interesting with War Mode. So a little bit of a context with me, at least. I've been playing WarThunder since 2013. I was in the alpha and as well as beta testing for World War Mode around, I think it was like 2016, 2017. So World War Mode's been around longer than most of you guys probably been playing WarThunder, and that's kind of crazy to think about whenever it comes to that. But World War Mode's been around for a little bit. You know, these missions have been tested and tested and tested. I do realize that there's a very, very small team, I believe, that's actually working on this mode in general. But the problem is it's been plagued with, 1, just technical issues over and over, and 2, just complete imbalance within the mode itself. So one of the huge problems with War Mode is that it's a squadron versus squadron thing. You kind of like have to battle it out and see who's the better squadron. But the thing about it is the battles themselves, unless you're at the very, very top of like the squadrons, like where you're actually having to like manage your resources and everything when it comes to like the commander view, it doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is your commander good enough to just find cheese ways to win the game. That's how it's always been. It's how it's probably always going to be. And it's something that I don't think the average player even knows about, because whenever we play World War Mode, especially with people who have never played it before, one of the funny things is that they're just sat there and they're like, well, why can't we just go into a game? And it's like, well, you gotta wait till your commander actually throws out a battle. But then they're like, well, when's that gonna happen? And then it's like, just watch the board, see what happens. But the thing is, not many people even get to experience that part of the game. I've got to experience it. I know plenty of people that have gotten to experience it. But the thing about it is, there's no way to practice it unless they put out the mode itself. So you're basically just getting thrown into the mode, trying to like learn how to command, learn how the battles work, learn how everything works. And it's so complex that I don't think an average player would actually be able to do it. And that's the thing, right? Because like, if you think about it, some of these modes or some of these like battles are around like battle rating, like, 5.3, 5.7, 6.7. And a lot of people have actually got to those ranks within WarThunder. So if you want those people to play this mode, it needs to be simple. It needs to be easy to get into. And that's one of the huge problems that's been plaguing World War Mode for a very long time, is that it's just too complex for like the average player. Now, no, I'm not saying like anyone is stupid if they can't understand it. Like, don't take it in that context. But the thing is that like people like simplicity. They like it whenever it's just plug and play. They like it whenever they don't really have to think about anything and they can just go and have fun within the mode themselves. And the other thing about World War Mode is that it's been plagued with just like people who want reward. Like, I know a ton of people that are not playing this season, or at least this mission that was going on today, just because there's no reward to it. Like, there's no major reward. There has been in the past with the M60 AMVT, as well as the Surblende for the France. But other than that, I mean, they either give out like a decal or they give out like a box that you can get. And I mean, that's like okay for like a beta test, but it's already been beta tested. We're at the like point now of where it should be in like full production. We should be having seasons like every 6 months or something like that, but it hasn't been doing that because it's been plagued with issues. It's been plagued with imbalance because, like I've said, like the top squadrons, the very first like 5 or 6 games that are played, they can figure out which side is meta, and that's the only side that gets played. So then the queue times get insanely long if you actually want to get into a game. And then at the end of the day, there's no reason to actually play it, because what do you earn? Nothing. Like, you don't earn anything this time. Well, if the servers were live, that is. It is just not live. But yeah, I mean, like, World War Mode is something that could have been fun for the game. I mean, it's really fun whenever you have like a community around it and you're all playing together and you just hear like screaming and you hear people that are having a lot of fun, because it is a competitive game after all, like a competitive like type mode. So whenever you're going against a squadron that all the other players like the enemy team and you also know your team, like, it's really fun in those moments. But for the majority of people, especially when you play solo, I just don't see World War Mode as actually being a mode that is going to be entertaining and enjoyable for the foreseeable future. There's a lot of problems with it, like I've said, and I don't think many of these problems can be fixed within WarThunder. So yeah, that's my main thoughts on World War Mode. I mean, it kind of goes for the same thing with game mode. Like, a lot of people say like, well, why does WarThunder not add any new game modes? Or why don't we just have like team deathmatch, or we have capture the flag, or we have conquest? Like, that's the only game modes that work. The reason is because people want simplicity. They don't want these like weird modes that like one side is always favored covered, or that they don't understand, or that, you know, too complex. I mean, some people do, but at the end of the day, you got to realize that like the average player is just here to be like playing WarThunder for like 2 hours, maybe 1 at most, and then they're just sat there being like, you know what, how much RP or SL did I get, trying to figure out the game themselves. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of just off cuff video at this point, but yeah, World War mode, rip. Hopefully we get it going next time, or, you know, something changes. Yeah, hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next WarThunder video.